What's good, y'all? Today we got the craziest trade, the craziest trade in NBA history. Now, y'all could let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think this is the craziest trade, or is Jimmy highroller yapping in the title? Let's get straight into it. Let me see. Let me turn this down. Let's get into it.
There aren't many things that can stop the entire NBA world in its tracks at 10 p.m. on a Saturday night. Did someone score 100 points? Did LeBron hastily retire in the middle of the season? What, did Michael Jordan come back out of retirement? What could possibly get everyone riled up out of nowhere? Oh my god. We all said in unison.
Dallas Mavericks are trading Luka Doncic. We already knew this.
As news broke that the Mavericks traded Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I figured this was just some big elaborate hack job, and I was waiting for follow-up tweets saying, false alarm, the Mavericks actually aren't brain dead. I can't believe you guys fell for it. But within minutes, it was clear that this trade was unfortunately very real, and the Mavericks are in fact out of their minds. The same player who Mark Cuban said he would rather leave his wife before giving.
This is crazy. If I had to choose between my wife and keeping Luka on the Mavs, catch me at my lawyer's office prepping for a divorce. Are we serious right now, Mark Cuban?
Up. The same player
And then
who
you
was
end up giving him up
for a third of the organization's finals appearances. The same player.
Now, I do think this was a stupid trade. I can't say what I want to say, but this was terrible. Why would you trade away Luka? Maybe AD and Kyrie might be a good. It might be good together. It might work out for him. But Luka, that's like trading some Balentis for a ham sandwich, bro, because you hungry. You don't do that.
Who, by the grace of God, miraculously fell into their lap 7 years ago, is now gone. And after looking at the reported details of this exchange, how it went down and who was involved, this is, without exaggeration, the most shocking trade in NBA history.
Right. Luka and LeBron. I've never thought I'd hear that.
Today's video is sponsored by DraftKings. Super Bowl 59 is right around the corner, and DraftKings is here to make setting it at about a day to
Jimmy
only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Now that we've had about a day to digest the Luka AD trade, by now the reality of the situation should be setting in. It has not. A trade so insane that fans are now theorizing if the league did it for the sake of ratings. Imagine.
So I got a question. Y'all think Boston go in this year? Or are they getting swept by the Lakers or Dallas?
Concocting a deal so heinous that your fans literally think you're doing it for clout. That is how crazy this trade is. And there's about a dozen reasons why this is legitimately the most shocking deal we have ever seen. First, according to multiple sources, none of the players even knew this trade was happening. Not Luka, not Anthony Davis,
That's a lie.
not even the Lakers GM.
We know the GM knew. We know the GM knew about this, bro. LeBron is up 10 hats, bro. LeBron is 10 steps ahead. If LeBron wants you gone, he gonna get you gone. The GM is him. He knew about this. There's no way.
And LeBron James. As some sources put it, this deal materialized in the shadows. In the shadows? What is this? The Illuminati? What do you mean in the shadows? And turns out this was the cleanest way this deal could have gone down. Because the next component that makes this truly the craziest trade to ever happen, Luka never requested a trade. He's been in Dallas his entire career, and outside of a few rumors, nothing suggested he wouldn't be a lifer in that organization. There wasn't any buildup, there wasn't any reports of a disgruntled Luka making demands. It just
traded him out of nowhere.
Out of the blue. Which is reason number 3. The Mavs just traded away a top 3 asset in the NBA without even shopping him. No bidding wars, no asking around and assessing other offers. They just made the call to the Lakers and accepted the deal. Can you imagine the haul Dallas would have got if they actually shopped Luka around the league for a couple of months? Oh, you want to give us Luka? Here is our entire franchise. The players, the coaches, the building, the
Traded
staff,
Luka
my
for
firstborn child. Take it all. Thanks for
leftover
doing
spaghetti,
business.
man.
I'll figure out the details later.
They
If
traded
Rudy
Luka for
Gobert
leftover
is worth
spaghetti.
2 starters, 5 first
That's
rounders,
what they
and a
did.
pick swap. If Mikal Bridges is worth 5 first rounders, a second rounder, and a swap.
They
If
traded
an
him for a
aging
guy that
Paul
can't
George
stay
is
healthy,
worth
bro.
a
That's leftover
rising
spaghetti.
SGA, 5 first round picks, and 2 picks.
And they got rid of Max
Can
Christie.
you imagine what a prime Luka Doncic would have fetched to the right team? Oh wait, I know. A 31-year-old Anthony Davis and a thank you note. It makes no sense. And that brings up reason number 4. The Mavericks were just in the finals last year. We've seen players sign with other teams after a finals run. We've seen players demand trades after a great season. But we have never seen a team willingly cough up a megastar after being just 3 games away from winning a championship. It's unthinkable, because reason number 5, it's Luka freaking Doncic. You do not trade Luka Doncic. If you were to rank players in the NBA on their trade value, starting with the players who are the most untouchable, non-negotiable, hang up the phone, and down from there, Luka is...
And then I was looking on Twitter, I seen it said they traded him because he was quote unquote unhealthy or not conditioned enough. If he's not conditioned enough, get him to where you want him. You don't have to train him. There's other ways around trading somebody. You just traded maybe one of your biggest players in history from the Mavs. Like, you just gave him up. Just gave him away.
Probably 3rd or 4th on that list. The only 2 players definitively ahead of him are Wemby and Jokic. Now just try to wrap your head around the deal a team would have to offer in exchange for Nikola Jokic, or what the Bucks would get in return for Giannis. Here's a hint, there isn't one, because they would never trade them away. The deal doesn't exist. Tim McMahon of ESPN reported that Dallas had 2 major concerns in regards of Luka's future with the franchise. The first one being his massive $345 million 5-year extension, which he would have been eligible for this summer, and the second concern being his health and conditioning. In other words, the man was out of shape. So, let me get this straight. The Dallas Mavericks just traded away the best player of a generation,
because he was
the
out of
future
shape
of their franchise, and the man that just got them to the
Come on,
finals
bro.
on one leg because he put on a few pounds.
Because he
For
put on a
fuck's
few
sake, Zion
pounds.
Williamson ate his way into load management, and he has spent the last 6 seasons.
Zion is chugging slushies and drinking ice cream, eating bananas on the sideline. And you get rid of Luka. Zion is a slob of a player. Great player. Slob of a player, though. And you giving up Luka?
In and out of rehab, and the Pelicans are still sticking by him.
Y'all just gave a... Y'all made... Zion is a beer belly granddad, bro. And the Pelicans could keep him. Why can't y'all keep Luka? Mavs not even my team. And it's like, that was stupid, bro.
Now, Zion didn't deserve that stray. Seems like a nice guy. I wish him the best. But you get the point. We are now over a decade into the process, and the Sixers have yet to move on from Embiid. It's one thing for a franchise player to want out, to sign with another team if they aren't happy and the opportunity presents itself. But for a franchise to pull the trigger and get rid of a megastar in his prime because of constant conditioning issues is criminal. There's really no precedent or great comparison for a trade like this. Because in the past, even when teams did trade a superstar, there was context behind those trades that at least made it seem justifiable. Either the star was exiting their prime and the team was trying to salvage some value before they inevitably left, or despite how good the star was, the team wasn't finding much postseason success and wanted to go in a different direction. Or the star was bound to leave anyways, made it known, and the team had no leverage, so they were essentially forced into the trade. This deal between the Mavs and the Lakers has none of those elements involved. Luka didn't request a trade, he's 25 years old in his prime, and the Mavericks championship window just opened up. Now, as a Blazers fan, I am painfully aware of how hard it is to get your hands on a true franchise player. Painfully aware. In our team's entire 55-year existence, We've had 3. The first one got hurt, the second one was incredible, the potential third one got hurt, and the actual third one was also incredible. That's about one superstar every 20 years. What does the lackluster history of my team have to do with this trade? Well, because the Mavericks should know a thing or two about keeping their hands on a generational talent.
Are you really the last person to find out about the skip ads forever button? This is Pi, and if it sounds familiar to you, it's probably because you've seen their ads everywhere.
Because in their franchise's history, they've only had 2 of them. Dirk Nowitzki and Luka
Dirk,
Doncic.
Luka.
The first one spent his entire 21-year career in Dallas, facing ups and downs and winning arguably the heaviest and most challenging championship of our lifetime. And the second one, they traded away for AD in a box of scraps.
A box of scraps and leftover spaghetti. That's what they traded Luka for. Come on, bro. We traded Luka for Ritz crackers?
After just 6.5 seasons of a promising career. And as every fan of a non-major market team knows all too well, generational talents only come along once in a generation. The Mavericks aren't some hotspot for superstar talent. They don't get real chances to win it all often. Just 3 trips to the finals in 45 years. One of those trips at the hands of the guy who they just sent packing. They cannot afford to roll the dice and hope for greener pastures like some other teams can. You are not the Lakers. You get a player like Luka and you lock that man in and throw away the key. What are we doing? It could be another 20 years before a player of Luka's caliber puts on a Mavericks jersey. And the team traded him away because he was mildly out of shape. It makes me sick. This is coming from a desperate man who's got 18 years left before I see another Dame. Which brings us to their second concern. Again, according to sources, the Mavericks were not keen on giving Luka an extension that would have made him the highest paid player in the league. But if the third best player in the world, who gets better in the playoffs, is a perennial MVP candidate who's hitting his prime, isn't worth paying, then who the hell is? Dallas said that this was a win-now trade. An oxymoron of a statement considering who they just traded and where he just got them last season. But superstars win championships. Superstars
That's why they
also
did that.
cost a lot of money.
You traded Luka because you wanted a defensive center. And AD can't go a game without rolling his ankle. AD is going to be gone. And hopefully, knock on wood. Knock on wood, AD is not gone. But we all know AD cannot last a month without getting injured in some type of way. Small or big. You say you want a defensive center. Get a center that can play first, bro.
And if you're not willing to empty your pockets, how committed are you to actually...
When AD's healthy, he can play. AD, you just gotta pray he stays healthy, bro.
winning? In what world has being cheap ever won a team a title? It just seems completely counterintuitive to what they're trying to accomplish. Now, the implications of this trade for the Lakers are just as drastic, but for entirely different reasons. For starters, this will be the first time in LeBron's entire career, youth, high school, NBA, a lifetime of basketball, where he won't be the best player on his team, which is already a huge adjustment for him and the team as a whole, but specifically because Luka and LeBron essentially do the same exact thing. Oversized on-ball floor generals with elite scoring abilities. In fact, they not only have the same skill set, they take on the exact same roles on the court. LeBron has always initiated the offense, even if it meant relegating point guards to other positions. And this usually worked in the past because no one did what LeBron could do nearly as good as he could do it. But now there's a guy who can do what LeBron can do, only better. So that means unless Luka and the Lakers are okay with him getting neutralized, LeBron will have to truly play off ball and within the flow of the offense for the first time in about 2 decades. 2 LeBrons on one team. Sounds great in theory, probably a bit redundant. Which leads me to believe the Lakers are actually playing a longer game with this trade. Sources report that the Mavericks are the ones that approached LA with this trade. And despite the Lakers playing fairly well as of late, I think they knew their chances of winning another title with the LeBron-AD duo was getting slim. So with the option of trading away key pieces and tripling down on a 40-year-old LeBron to carry them to the promised land, or trade for a megastar that just showed up on their doorstep 5 minutes ago, they couldn't book AD's flight to Dallas quick enough. Which makes me think this move was the first step into the post-LeBron era in Los Angeles. As we all know, LeBron will more than likely retire within a season or two, and the Lakers.
So it looks like they planning for the long run. They already planning 2 years ahead. Is what it looks like. They're planning for when LeBron leaves. Maybe we'll see Bronny on the court more with Luka.
A new face for their
Just gotta see.
franchise, and they just got it. Inexplicably,
Surprised they didn't trade Reeves. I'm not surprised, but I'm thinking they trade Reeves, but maybe not.
miraculously, in the most Lakers way imaginable. I always wondered what LeBron's final years would look like, how he would go out, who would be around him, but never in my wildest dreams did I imagine it would be playing second fiddle to Luka Doncic in a Lakers jersey. All in all, it seems like the Mavericks won this trade, if you zoom way in and look at this in an 18-month window. But zoom out, and the Lakers are looking around asking themselves how they just pulled off a bank heist. With AD, the Mavericks lineup looks good, possibly a winning formula. But the Lakers got Luka Doncic, and in 20 years, fans will look back and wonder how one of the greatest players of
Just
all
slipped
time
out the Mavericks'
in his
hands.
prime was traded away on a random Saturday night.
Man, let me know what y'all think about this. Like I said, I was baffled when I seen this, bro. Like, how could you just give up somebody like that? Somebody that big. But hey, it's a business at the end of the day. Catch y'all next time.